This is a true story about ordinary heroes. This is about very simple, semi-literate rural women changing the face of the whole continent of Africa.
In our country, our village, we are in darkness, no light.
From DRC to Senegal, from Mauritania to Mozambique, from Liberia to Tanzania, from Sudan to South Africa, a quiet grassroots revolution is taking place.
My name is Fres Dudu Bulen, African South Sudan New Nation. I am solar engineer.
Je suis venue dans le pays du Burundi.
Guinea-Bissau. From Gambia.
I come from Zanzibar.
I'm coming from South Africa.
Senegal.
Côte d'Ivoire.
Country Thai, South Sudan.
I come from Lesotho.
Using only a hands-on approach, demonstrating incredible sophisticated technology skills, these gutsy women are exposing the practical incompetence of exorbitant salaried armchair experts, putting high-powered, paper-qualified engineers to shame, making universities, donors, development planners and paper-qualified experts seriously rethink if solar electrification of remote villages all over the world is the final goal, what the formal educational system is actually worth.
I made it.
I made it.
Anna, women solar engineer.
Yes, me I feel proud because solar engineer is good to lady.
Since 2008, with financial support under the India Technical Economic Corporation, ITEC, of the Ministry of External Affairs, Government of India, these women have come to India to be trained in 6 months to be barefoot solar engineers. They represent the profile of everyday rural Africa, from poor agricultural, daily wage labourers, widows, housewives, battered, abandoned women, midwives, petty village entrepreneurs. They come uncertain, insecure and lost in their new Indian surroundings. With good reason. They barely know how to read and write, meeting and having to live, work and communicate with strangers. On top of that, they have no theoretical knowledge of mathematics or electronics. They have no idea of the detailed names of any electronic parts, no idea of how power is generated from the sun, no idea of how and why the solar systems work.
I call my teacher, problem, what problem? Transformer problem. Say, yeah, all, yeah, and with yeah, I understand.
Without using the written or spoken word, through sign language, simple colour codes, and using a combination of sight and sound, they have learnt how to fabricate sophisticated charge controllers, install fixed solar units, produce robust solar lanterns that last longer than the cheap, unreliable, unrepairable gadgets flooding the markets, and establish a rural electronic workshop to carry out all repair and maintenance at the village level. On their return, they are heroes and role models for the young girls. Their very presence in the villages on their return have fundamentally changed mindsets about the infinite capacity of rural women, about men-women relationships, and about the competence of villages to be self-sufficient. So long as they can practically solar electrify 100 houses within 2 weeks, fabricate solar lanterns, silence the hardened skeptics and reduce the whole village into collective, respectful silence. That is all that matters. The barefoot model does not believe in issuing certificates or diplomas after training. The certification is done by the community themselves. The barefoot approach believes the management, control and ownership of the technology must lie in the hands of the poor communities. At every village meeting, where all the families are present, it is the first time they have ever calculated how much they spend on kerosene, wood, candles, torch batteries and diesel. They are both surprised and horrified that they are spending between $5 to $10 per month for so many years. Each family still agrees to pay as much in writing for solar lighting. They collect contributions every month and a solar committee manages the money. Unlike a business model, no one profits, but everyone benefits. 30% of the total monthly contribution collected goes to the salary of the women solar engineer cum entrepreneur. Every family living on less than $1 per day has a right to clean, bright, non-polluting light in their homes. We do not have the right to discriminate as a business model does, just because they cannot afford it. Instead of subsidizing the rich and calling it incentives, we need to subsidize the poor so long as they can pay for the repairs and maintenance. That ensured 100% coverage of the remote, non-electrified village. That ensures forests not being cut and kerosene not polluting the environment. For every village fully solar electrified, 10,000 litres of kerosene is saved. As a partnership model, the model was first tested in 2008 in Africa. Over the last 7 years, till 2015, the barefoot models have touched 34 of the least developed countries in Africa. Nearly 268 women have been trained as barefoot women solar engineers. Rural electronic workshops have been established in 266 villages for instant repair and maintenance. By last count, all villages covering 15,000 houses have been solar electrified at a total cost of $6 million. Community contributions from every month total $75,000. We are looking at the first fully, technically and financially self-sufficient solar electrified villages in Africa. The role of the barefoot women solar engineers, the demystified and decentralized barefoot model, has been recognized the world over by His Holiness the Dalai Lama, President Clinton, the Prince of Wales, UN Women Michelle Bachelet, President of Zanzibar, the Government of India for its enormous global impact on empowering rural women and climate change. Jeffrey Sachs, in his Millennium Villages, spends $2.5 million in one village over 5 years. At the cost of barely 3 Millennium Villages, the barefoot model has trained 268 women as solar engineers and fully solar electrified close to 266 villages in 7 years. The bottom-up community managed, community controlled and community owned barefoot model is the only scalable, sustainable and cost-effective model for Africa. The President of Sierra Leone constructed the first barefoot training centre in Cotaline, in Africa. It was inaugurated in March 2012. 12 barefoot women solar engineers trained in India are now training 150 solar grandmothers from all over the country. The Government of India has approved the establishment of barefoot training centres at the cost of $400,000 each in Liberia, Burkina Faso, Senegal, Tanzania and South Sudan. The Coca-Cola Foundation has approved $1 million for supporting the barefoot training centres in Africa. The Clinton Global Initiative is a massive supporter, only too glad to give the solar mamas global visibility.
What is best for Africa is a model that is compassionate, that includes everybody. It is not a business model where some people profit and very few people are excluded. What is best for Africa is a model of compassion, of inclusion, of equality. So we believe that the partnership model is the best for Africa, where the business, the community, the government are all equal partners and they all have a share in developing Africa. That is the hope for Africa.